All right. Good evening, YouTube. This is my first live. Um, I guess I'm just going to treat it like a regular video that I would do. And hopefully, I'm coming in loud and clear and everyone can hear me and whatnot. I do have my coffee to keep me up. This is later than I usually stay awake. So, there's a lot on the horizon coming up. I keep looking up. There's a TV so I can, read if anyone actually shows up and makes comments. Um, China told the Crypt Keeper not to come to Taiwan. She wanted to do a show of force and do it anyway, so she just took it upon herself to go to Taiwan anyway with the threat of World War. Um, China has now started, from my understanding, doing live fire training, whatever that means. To me, that translates into they're actually using live ammo and shooting at stuff. So, kind of what I wanted to talk about is, hey John, how you doing? Kind of what I want to talk about is what do you stack up on for the case of a war? Um, History showed us that they do have shortages from everything from food all the way to automotive tires and rubber. So we're going to talk about what to stack, and I'm gonna pull a page out of Prepper Nation's handbook and start with a list of the stuff that I have. So one of them is your rice and beans and food, and start a garden. You got to be able to eat. No, you can't eat ammo, but there it is. Um, if you have your ammo stored up and your firearms ready, get out and practice with them. Get some training. Be ready to be efficient with it. Everything from let's maybe keep some spare automotive parts because they're going to be hard to find. War is good for business because people will be building tanks. It's all a show. A delayed reaction. Sorry, John. um, with them manufacturing more and more war items, that's going to cut down. They're going to take it from you and me. So since there's two people in here, let's have some comments. But food's going to be the biggest thing. Have a way to get and process water because that's going to be a big deal. And have your people ready. I've done multiple videos on just people and having a group or a mag or a tribe or whatever it is. And you guys got to start working together now before the shit hits the fan. And you got to see if you can tolerate each other. You don't need one jackass in the group who keeps everything from working out the way it's supposed to. So that's a good start right there. And if you're not training together, you're not going to know how to work together. And it goes both ways. If you're not working together, you're not going to be able to train together. So have a good group of people. Now is the time to start making food come out of the ground. Also, we're already seeing food shortages. It's not getting any better. World War II, I believe it was, they started calling them victory gardens. Is that correct? But you're only going to be able to rely on yourself to feed yourself if it gets that bad. And I got a feeling it's probably going to get that bad. If not from the China escapade, come November, it's probably going to come November. I think the world's going to look a little different for the United States because we're either looking at a red wave or a blatant election stolen again. And okay, conspiracy theory, whatever, but tell me I'm wrong. So it's time to start making food come out of the ground. If you know a local farmer, it's time to start making deals. Make sure you can get meat. unless you want to rely on old Daddy Gates to supply you with synthetic meat and ground up bugs that they're calling meat substitute. There's a reason that guy's buying up farmland at an alarming rate, and he wants to be in charge of the food. He's on board with the population control big time, and the elites don't care about you and me. I mean, let's go right down to the government. It's called continuity of government, not continuity of you and I, for a reason. They don't care. Nobody's coming. So it's time to start doing for ourselves and getting that right. So we got food, you got water. If you don't have a steady source of water, fortunately, we're in Florida. Most of Florida, you dig down 3 feet, you can get water, but you still got to have a way of processing it. If you're closer to the coast, you're going to be stuck with salt water and brackish water, in which you're going to have to distill it to make it drinkable, which is a whole new process. You'll have to look up a video on how to do that, or buy a distiller. And having a distiller is probably a pretty good plan, because let's face it, medicinal alcohol is a thing. Yes, stress requires medicinal alcohol. So, yeah, you're going to need irrigation, because and you're not going to be able to water your garden with salt water if you're close to the coast either. So you're going to have to be able to process it. But so we're going to have food, water, training for security. You're going to need, if gas is even going to be a thing, alternative fuels. And I know a couple people that are working on alternative fuel sources, and I guess it's kind of me they're leaning on to try to do some of that homework, and I need to get around to doing that. But if transportation is even still a thing, if things get that bad, I don't think we're going to see a situation where cars don't run at all anymore. I think it's just going to be fuel shortage. So there's going to be a lot of walking, I got a feeling. If the China fiasco turns into something, or even Russia, which is escalating still, I don't think we're going to see. Yeah, still slacking on my alternative fuel theories or work. I don't know how I feel about the possibility of boots on the ground. I believe, again, more conspiracy, that thankfully, there you go. I'm 7 miles from my job, so more than I want to walk on a regular basis, but it could happen. But I don't think we're going to see. I don't think we're going to see boots on the ground. But in a conspiracy theory, I do believe in sleeper cells, and I think they're here. We've got a wide open door at the south border, and we already know that Russia's been given the green light to start docking boats in Central America in some places. So, I don't know how I feel about boots on the ground from invading forces. I mean, you can actually look at the southern border as an invading force, and I want to say I read that only 60% of the refugees coming across the southern border are actually Latino. There's a lot more than that coming across the border, from what I understand. And then the northern border, northwest coast border, from what I understand, China's got training camps in Canada that they're right there, man. The Chinese are there, and they're training for that weather, I guess, is what they're using as training for that climate. from what I understand. So I try not to think of boots on the ground invading force being an issue, but I'm not going to count it out. Um, I don't think nukes will be. Just don't. I don't see the advantage of Russia or China. Mostly Russia. He's the one that really likes to make the threats. Dropping a nuke because they're working hand in hand with China, and China wants the territory, the U.S. territory. And if you nuke it, I mean, it's devastating, and you are now the proud owner of rubble. So I don't think China is gonna nuke, and I don't think they're gonna. I think they're gonna persuade Russia to not nuke it, because war at its most basic is a game of resources, and that's what they want is the resources. So, just it's something to keep an eye on. We never know what they're going to do. I mean, China is a hell of a fighting force. Putin seems, God, I don't want to say he's unstable, but he's maybe hungry. Maybe that's the word. Yeah, UN could be a problem. UN could be a problem. I know that they just took over one of the larger bases. I want to say in North or South Carolina. I mean, this was a couple months ago. I don't remember all the details on it when I read it, but Blue Helmet, I think is God. That's hard to say, man. There's a lot of options out there of what could go wrong, but UN would be a bad thing too because they come in using the name peacekeepers, and by peacekeepers they mean 1984. You know, so that's something to watch out for also. And your mainstream media certainly isn't going to give you any usable information on how to prepare for stuff like that or even what's going on, because it's all propaganda with them. But it's just, wow, there's a lot to cover on that. Now you got me thinking about UN forces, and I keep looking up. There's a TV up there so I can see better because I'm blind. And so I keep looking up so I can see the comments more clear. Wow, UN could be a problem. I mean, I think that maybe that's what the left is going to lean on to push their way if too many people stand up. I mean, not like there's a take your country back movement that would be successful very easily. If you think you're going to rush DC, it's a suicide mission. You'd have to have one hell of a plan, and you'd have to have the following, and you'd have to be someone with a lot of pull in the military, because even the military has gone pretty woke at this point. They absorb lead too. They do absorb lead too. Again, you know. So, yes, and insurgency, as we already have when the January 6th is what they're trying to push that off. While the DC cops were opening the gates for people, but that's a conversation. That's a whole conversation for another time. But so we're not going to take our country back other than we do it in the votes, and we can't. I mean, I'm not going to stop voting, but I'm not going to trust it either. What about monkeypox? Well, don't eat monkey. That's all I got for you. It's a real thing. I don't think it's any more threatening than Charlie Victor 919er. But I mean, monkeypox is out there, and the more research, you got to be a lot more closer proximity to people. In fact, I think it's actually body fluid transferable. It's not like CV where you just got to be within 6 feet of them. 482 cases in Florida. Well, being in the medical field, you know that better than I do. So, yeah, maybe it is a growing problem. Don't make out with monkeys. that's how I see it. Excuse for mail-in votes this round. They're going to bring out every possible disease they can to make us stay home to do mail-in. Well, that's what John was just saying. Yeah, they want those mail-in votes, so they don't actually know how many people are going to the polls. That's going to be a big deal for them. That's how they're going to force their win. And man, I just don't see how people are still falling for their crap. I mean, they're going to really push the fear with just a distraction. Exactly, with these distractions. I mean, what the hell do you think the Johnny Depp case was? That was a distraction while they were pushing through stuff through Congress to try to take more of our freedoms. I mean, now we're looking at a pending assault weapon ban. I don't think, at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to fly. I just don't. They're going to start a war if they do that, because then it's going to be civil war. That's just too much. And yeah, they're not going to pull that one off. So, but I do see the brains of our little organization in here. So, what say you, sir? Generation of Jersey Shore. Oh yeah, they're definitely indoctrinating people from everything from TV to school. That's why I still think maybe homeschooling is the way to go. These teachers are putting their beliefs on our kids, and our kids are coming out thinking that these other thoughts and ideas are the way to go. It covers the magazine. It's going to be these, and anything else. They want to limit. They're going to use mass shootings to keep it from doing that. What did I see the other day? They were sneaking through on the same bill. They were kind of sneaking through on it. Was that the thing where you can't sue the manufacturers anymore? Scary features. Ooh, this one's black. It's scary too. I mean, it only shoots a pellet, and it's air powered, but whatever. So, yeah, they're trying to sneak as much as they can through, and just trying to find a reliable news source. I like Jarrett with Guns and Gadgets. Is that right? Yeah, Jarrett with Guns and Gadgets. He really seems to do his research on what they're trying to push through. Yeah, that is true. The next bill will take it up. But yeah, the more freedom they take, I mean, let's face it. The only reason they will want to take our guns away from us, is if they plan on doing something that would get them shot. I mean, that's what it comes down to. And they're already doing stuff that they should be shot for. I probably shouldn't have said that on here. The black SUVs are going to start showing up now. But yeah, that's a good point. it's going to come down to thought police. They've already tried that. They tried the thought police thing and it didn't fly, man. They pulled that when everyone started making the 1984 references. They backed out of that one. So, but yeah, man. What do we got here? We got 4 on my very first live chat on a beginning channel. I can't complain about that for a second. I'm pretty happy with that. Right on. So, if there's anything else anyone else wants to add, throw it in the comments. Be a little bit of driven by that. You had 6, we ran them off. Yeah, those were the FBI spies. the ATF spies, Fed boys. So yeah, if anyone wants to add anything, just nice little quick 20-minute, and I'll watch to make sure that I'm very lagging on my internet in here. So we'll see if we give it a couple of minutes before we. But that's all that I have. You gotta let's make your own food come out of the ground, because no one's coming to save you. We didn't even start covering medical. Man, maybe that's something I need to do. A little homework on some medical. Obviously, I can't teach anyone how to do first aid, but some first aid supplies would be something to talk about. And I've saved up a little bit. Probably nothing of what we need. If it goes the worst possible situation, we're all going to need much more first aid canning, second batch right now. Dude, that's awesome. That's something we need to work on. I need to modify my garden. I did my first garden, started in March or April. It was semi-successful. I had squash bugs are still a problem, and squash borers that were a problem. And but it was a pretty small garden, so there were some lessons learned. And I'm gonna increase the size of my raised beds, or just find a good place in the ground to just throw it in the ground and let her go, and get these insects under control. Everyone was talking about caterpillars, and I didn't have that many problems with caterpillars, but man, the squash vine borers and the squash bugs decimated everything. My cucumbers, my squash, my zucchini. They're even killing my freaking tomatoes. But we're going to come back harder next time, and it's going to work. I'm going to get you can eat the extra protein. Yeah. We're going to do a fall crop. We're going to see what grows good in fall and see how that goes. I want to get as much learning under my belt now, before we have to use it to stay alive for sure. I can get someone in. Yeah, there's a couple people. There's actually a local dude that who keeps teasing he's going to do a stop the bleed class at a local rifle shop, but he hasn't done it yet. Extra pony, I think, with the zucchini. Yeah, I think I did. I think I involuntarily ate a vine borer worm. But did I die? No. Yeah, John, maybe we should set that up. That would. I mean, I've taught myself how to use a tourniquet, and I can crank it down till it's painful. So, and I don't have a pulse, so I'm assuming that's done right. But if maybe we'll do that with the Sunshine group and see if they want to do a stop the bleed course, somewhere in between running barbed wire and castrating cows. So, all right. If no one else has anything to add, I am going to say goodnight. I'm going to thank everyone for showing up. John, I appreciate it. As I learn more about this, I could certainly use the information that you have, man, because you're a plethora. So I appreciate you coming in. Fall crops now for North Florida. Yeah, I got somewhere on my table of junk. I've got a list of what seeds I'm going to start. I don't know if should I start. Do we start them now for fall, or do we start them in September? That's what I don't. That's what I got to find out. I guess there's never any bad time to put food in the ground. So I do have sweet potatoes started. I hope the freeze don't kill them. I got to get them out of the containers and into the dirt, into the ground. So now, got it. All right, now it's more stuff to do amongst all the other stuff. So, all right, guys. Again, I appreciate it. Thanks everyone for showing up. This was actually fun. I might actually have to put my smart guy glasses on so I can read the comments a little better. 4th and 5th of this month per almanac. All right, perfect. I appreciate that. I've got my box of seeds over there, so I'll go through that and see what I want to throw on the ground. All right, thanks y'all. I appreciate it. I don't have a real clever closing statement like some of the other YouTubers do, but let's just keep watching what's happening, and I'm gonna force myself. I need to force myself to start doing at least a once a weeker. I may not be alive, but I got to start putting something out. I kind of enjoy this. Not looking to make a bunch of money at it, but maybe get some information out there for people who want it or people who need it. And by doing a live, I can bring in opposing opinions or added thoughts. So that would be great. All right, guys, throw me a thumbs up if you would, and we'll see you out there.